Okay, let's talk about this thing. Because this is not just a car. It's a 1,200 horsepower statement piece. We're looking at a 1995 Nissan 240SX that's just as happy taking home trophies from a car show as it is, well, absolutely embarrassing superbikes on the highway. Today, we are diving deep into a build that has completely mastered the art of form and function.
So what really makes this car so special? You know, it all comes down to its incredible dual identity. This isn't just some trailer queen that looks good under the lights, and it's not just a stripped-out race car. No, this is a monster that was built from the ground up to conquer both worlds, without a single compromise.
I mean, this quote from the builder, Drew King, it says everything you need to know, right? The whole goal was to build a car that could air out, drop its air suspension to the ground at a show, looking absolutely perfect. And then, on the drive home, have enough power to pull on 1,000cc sport bikes. That is the absolute dream for pretty much any car enthusiast out there. This car is basically the poster child for what we call a show and go build. It's a whole philosophy that demands total perfection in the looks department, the paint, the fitment, every little detail, while at the same time packing a serious engineering punch that delivers just, jaw-dropping speed and power. So, who is the mastermind behind this incredible machine? Let's get to know the architect himself, Drew King, and really try to understand the philosophy that took a simple idea and turned it into a 1,200 horsepower reality.
And this, right here, this is the core belief that really sets this whole build apart from the rest. It's a serious commitment to craftsmanship, a flat-out refusal to take shortcuts, and a dedication to doing things the right way even when it's way harder and takes a lot longer.
Now, Drew isn't some big-shot shop owner with a massive crew. He's a 27-year-old guy with a day job selling valves in the oil and gas industry. He's fueled by a passion for precision, and as he puts it, the simple things in life. Baseball, beer, and, well, things that go boom.
Every epic project has a beginning, and this one started from some seriously humble origins. This car wasn't born in some state-of-the-art facility. It started its life with Drew as a cheap, empty shell.
So get this, Drew picked up this 240SX shell back in 2017 for just $3,500. I mean, think about that for a second. In today's market for one of these chassis, that is an absolute steal. But back then, it was the perfect blank canvas he needed for his vision. And that number on the right? Yeah, that's what years of hard work, busted knuckles, and late nights gets you. This car went from a $3,500 shell to a 1,200-plus horsepower monster. And that transformation is exactly what makes this build so ridiculously cool.
Now, this passion didn't just pop up out of nowhere. It all started when he was a teenager, binge-watching all those classic TX2K street racing videos on YouTube, dreaming of those legendary 90s Japanese cars. He even cut his teeth turbocharging his very first car, a Toyota Camry of all things, before he finally took the plunge on this wildly ambitious project.
All right, so how did he actually do it? Let's get into the nitty-gritty of the engineering and the insane attention to detail that takes this build from just good to legendary. This is where that whole no shortcuts philosophy really shines. Okay, the key here is Drew's absolute refusal to cut corners. While a lot of other builders might just use zip ties and hope for the best, he used professional-grade hardware like riv nuts. If you don't know, they're these awesome threaded inserts that create a super strong, permanent mounting point for bolts. It's the difference between a quick fix and a solution that's actually built to last. And for anyone out there even thinking about a project like this, he's got some brutally honest, hard-earned advice. The secret to fitting that giant transmission into a small Japanese car? Hammer the transmission tunnel. And when you think you're finally done, hammer it for another half hour. He also says to build your own swap kit to save some cash for the really fun parts, like turbos. Now, the full parts list for this car is a mile long, but here's a little peek at the heart of the beast. We're talking a massive 6.6-liter stroker V8 for insane torque, a wild mirror-image twin-turbo setup that looks perfectly symmetrical and makes huge power, a bulletproof transmission that can actually handle it all, and a super sophisticated air suspension system to get that perfect show car stance.
But what's maybe the most impressive part of all of this? Drew did almost all of it himself. Seriously. Outside of the professional paint job and getting the alignment done, every single nut and bolt, every wire, every custom fabricated part, it was all the result of his own labor, helped along by friends who were paid in pizza and beer.
So the car is now, for all intents and purposes, complete. But what's next? What's its legacy? And what does the guy who built it think about the very culture he's a part of?
Well, the focus has officially shifted. It's not about chasing more power or adding more mods anymore. The #1 goal now is to just dial in the reliability so he can actually get out and enjoy driving the incredible machine he spent years of his life creating.
And what's interesting is that Drew kind of operates as a lone wolf. He's not part of any car crews. He says he finds them, and I quote, overrated and cringy. This really just reinforces that his focus has always been on the project itself, not the social scene that can sometimes pop up around it.
And he offers a pretty critical take on the modern car scene. He feels it's been on a downward spiral for a while now, and he points a finger directly at the rise of illegal street takeovers as a big reason for that decline. And that's a feeling a lot of dedicated builders share.
And this really brings us to our final thought. Drew King's 240SX is proof of what's possible when a dedicated builder goes all in. But in a world where 1,200 horsepower street cars are a real thing, it brings up a huge question. Where does car culture go from here? What does the future look like for a community that's navigating this new era of truly extreme performance?